Big cat, how you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat, moving silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.
Power on. Audio Bluetooth mode.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome, or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Let's dive in, darling dears, and unpack. Oh, you have a double one, darling dears. Snake eyes. The energy of the one comes with the word evaluate everything, darling dears, because you will be having to make a major decision. It also speaks about deceptive forces trying to undermine your security, darling dears. If you're going to make a major decision, don't make a major move until after the next new moon, which will be in Aquarius on the 9th of February, darling dears. Aquarius is about groups, darling dears, and you've got eyes on you. The energy of the double one, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. It speaks about a reunion. You're gonna see someone that you haven't seen in years, darling dears. Years. Gosh, sometimes when I see people I haven't seen in years, I'm like, good God, who did it and ran, and did you report it? And others, they've gone to a much more uplifted place, darling dears. Anyhow, let's press on. The energy of the two is represented by the moon. The moon rules Cancer as well as Pisces energy. Your birthday could be the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th. Your luckiest numbers over the next few days will be 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Your luckiest days will be Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. The number 2 is associated with the letters B, K, and T. And the moon is associated with B, K, and R. Okay. The moon is a cardinal water sign, so the energy from that is about taking action. Tackle things head on, darling dears. You're a big cat. We feel everything can rise. Okay. The number 2 also represents what? The second house. The second house of your values, your self-worth, your possessions, darling dears. The obligations that you have to meet. It also represents the past, and as I said, you'll be seeing or meeting upon someone from the past. It's going to have something to do with your talents and your skills, darling dears. Maybe they may be reconnecting. Maybe you have a platform, or you're out there somewhere, or your community, word has got back to them. They've decided to get back in contact with you. But it's also about your financial security. The number 2, the second house, is ruled by Venus energy, which is Taurus energy, darling dears. Taurus is also ruled by the Hierophant. So this is a divinely guided decision that you're going to have to make, darling dears, but after the next new moon. It also speaks about some kind of major change coming your way. The new moon will be in Aquarius, darling dears, which is the 11th house, the house of groups. Your hopes and wishes. It's your house of your associates, your acquaintance, business contracts and how your money is made from your career. The 11th house is also Aquarius energy, is about stepchildren as well as older siblings. They're looking at you differently, darling dears. And the 11th house rules technology, so someone's doing a peeping and a spying, darling dears. You've got monitoring spirits on your tail. Okay. The number 2 also speaks about you meeting another person, or it could be the same person, darling dears, which is going to have a profound effect on your life. Okay, good golly and gosh, who could it be? The number 2 in tarot is represented by the High Priestess. So this is where you're going to have to use your intuition and discernment. Something is going to be revealed to you because the High Priestess opens up secrets, darling dears. It also speaks about you have an air of mystery about you. You're highly intuitive, darling dears. You, in the past or presently now, you are involved with a partner who is very secretive. Good golly and gosh, the High Priestess also represents mistresses or some other distraction, darling dear, that might as well be called a mistress. Some of you are delving into occult knowledge. This is occult means hidden, darling dears. Occult knowledge is your birth natal chart. It could be astrology, palmistry, I don't know, Reiki, whatever it is, darling dears. You are getting to the bottom of things, but it's part of your spiritual journey. Okay. The High Priestess also is here to tell you that this thing that this person is going to tell you, which is going to have a profound effect, you won't see it coming, darling dears. So don't go looking for it. Remember, everything is in divine's timing. Okay. Okay, let's carry on. Let's get some oracle intuitive messages. We're going to go with the green. Get protection. Sage, a condom, bodyguard, a dog, self-defense and security camera. Good golly and gosh, didn't I say the monitoring spirits are afoot, darling dears? Yeah, and a court date, darling dears. A court date. It could be something to do with the lower courts. It could be a civil case. But it's something to do with some kind of partnership or agreement. It could be the ending of the marriage, darling dears, a separation. But it also speaks about open enemies. Open enemies, darling dears. Right? Family and friends. Support F shit. So we know who the monitoring spirits are. Family and so-called friends. The number 2. The astrological house of the number 2, I sat down and I lined up my 48 laws of power with it. For each astrological house has its own set of laws. Okay, so the second house is law number 2, be cautious with your trust. Law number 14, spy when necessary. That's what a big cat does. You do recon. Google is your friend, darling dears. Law number 22, you transform your weakness. Law number 32, play on fantasies, darling dears. What did I say? You have an air of mystery about you. Keeping stum, shutting up, packing it in will what further and deepen the mystery around you. Law number 39, stir up the waters, darling dears, in order to catch a fish. And remember, law number 40, avoid the free lunch. So family and friends that support F shit. Okay. Yeah, not liking the decisions you've made. They feel that you've judged them by what? Possibly even choosing yourself. Choosing to excuse yourself from family gatherings. Yeah, they're going through major tarot moments. They didn't expect you to what? Fly the coop, darling dears. Well, who wants to stay at 911 Freddy Krueger Avenue? 2 streets over from the loser lane in the District of the Damned. Not I, said the big cat. You've moved away from a situation, darling dear. But there's family members that are going for a court date. Base of the deck. Yeah, what did I say? You're into the occult. You've got your birth natal chart. 100%, darling dears. 100%. So 4th house energy. I'm feeling a little bit of it, as I said, the 11th house energy here. Okay. Because the 4th house energy is about endings as well, ending relationships with family members. It also speaks about ancestral protection, darling dears. And it's about your private life, who you are behind your own closed doors. Your relationships with your families, you'll find in your 3rd, your 7th, and your 11th house. To find out about your life path, darling dears, look on your 1st, your 5th, and your 9th house, darling dears. Okay, let's press on. Let's see the oracle ancestral message around this. Good golly and gosh. I touched life lessons first. I'm not going to go with life lessons. We're going to go with this. To jump right out. Something's been written, darling dears. And as I said, a court date could be to have something to do with what? Property, finances, some form of tax, darling dears. This looks like the Ace of Wands. A situation that you're passionate about. The Ace of Wands also could speak about you being words that you said, darling dears. It might as well have been written down in stone. This is about you breaching some kind of a contract, which is creating a lot of tower moments amongst family and friends that were never truly your family or your friends, darling dears. They're seeing you as being wise and leading with your heart chakra. Your heart is still open. Proverbs 4:23. You guarded your heart. You didn't close it, darling dears. And it also speaks about something that's manifesting for you, darling dears. A new beginning. Something that you've worked really hard towards. It's again about what? Protecting what you've built, darling dears. It could be the court. Something to do with the court. It could be copywriting your works. Making major decisions and choices, darling dears. Realizing that you are no longer going to settle for situations where the tower moments were constant. And guess who was the nuclei? You. You was the easy target. I didn't even get to shuffle the cards. Oh gosh. Let me quickly shuffle. See if anything comes out. Last shuffle. 2 cards. Okay, yeah, you're being protected, darling dears, and a secret is going to be revealed. Something that is going to definitely involve a court date with people that were or you believe to be friends or family, darling dears. That's the thing about family. They say blood is thicker than water, but you can only drink the water, and sometimes it's the blood that's bringing you down. This also speaks about what? Your intuition. You was guided to move away from a situation where possibly there were a lot of secret keepers, or trying to keep a secret of their true behaviors. You had to make a solid decision, darling dears. Snake eyes, you're still being watched. Face of the deck. Yeah, because of your boundaries, and you speak the truth. Roof, pinkies up, and again, this is spiritual guidance. You're understanding and seeing situations for what they are. Some of you are feeling as though you're ready to share love. Move outside of this tight situation, one where it was filled with a lot of personal introspection, darling dears. Going within for all answers. The truth of the situation is being revealed. So you've got the monitoring spirits, eh? Let's get a deck I haven't used in a while. Base of your deck, yeah, they're watching your shapely back. You're focused on your visions, your ideals. Maybe seeds you've sowed are coming in, darling dears, or you're planning some kind of trip or journey. For some, you will meet this significant person from the past, darling dears, and they will give you something, words to what? Make a profound effect on your life. But you're moving forward, and they're watching you, darling dears. They're watching you going through major tower moments, in some cases involving court dates. But you are protected from this. Let's see what comes up. I didn't plan a spread for this. This is already turned over. Confusion, darling. Good golly gosh, how come these cards are turned over? When did they turn over? These questions. Yeah, Seven of Cups, the Judgment, Justice. Somebody, they're under some serious karma, restriction, rules, and what? Stoppation. And it's Justice card, the court date that's actually coming in. They're going to get word of some kind of court date, darling dears, that they're not going to be able to get out of. Yes, baby. Why? Because they don't have true information to back up whatever their story is. Is it a defamation of character? We're going to see. We're going to break down these cards, darling dears. Sending a lot of negative energy, but at the ending of the day, you're choosing to walk away from a situation. You're walking away because you realize that being in that situation was extremely confusing, darling dears. You had no true allies in that situation. A lot of justice and judgment. And there's family members that would like to come and speak back to you, darling dears. Yeah, because they see you as stable, but allowing them back into your intricacies, telling them your day-to-day business or movement, darling dears, is a no-no. I told you, somebody wants intel to threaten your stable foundation that you've created for yourself. The Knight of Swords, darling dears, on its face. This person may have been violent towards you, darling dears, but if not, they was deliberately cruel, wicked, mean. Lies, gossip, darling dears. They sent a lot of, yeah, as I say, the Ten of Swords. This was a mental gap for them, darling dears. But they didn't realize that you would call the Tower. And again, we have the Tower moment from the intuitive cards as well as the Deck, darling dears. They didn't expect you to cut yourself out of the equation or the situation. Base of the Deck. They've got unfinished business with you, darling dears. And they're watching. And they're not happy with what you are creating for yourself. This speaks about movement, quick movement, darling dears. Movement towards justice. Justice or some kind of standing, darling dears. Maybe you have a platform. Maybe you help people, what? Live again, darling dears. You could be in the legal field. But this is definitely spiritually guided. This journey that you find yourself on, darling dears. Yeah. You had to find a way to what? Come out of the confusion. We've got 2 sevens on the tableau, darling dears. You've turned your pain into progress, prosperity, darling dears, but you did it with what? Light-hearted fun. This is after you came out the what? DNS, the Dark Night of the Soul. Had to look over my shoulder, right? Because I'm the red light, green light champion of 79. This card didn't want to come up. You've got an offer, an opportunity coming towards you, and it's coming very quickly. Yeah. We've got the Ace of Swords. This offer and opportunity that's coming through. If it's a contract, you better read the fine print. Queen of Swords, you better put your third eye on bitches and mitches, darling dears. Somebody's going to try and double cross you with some kind of a contract. Be very careful going forward. Use the wisdom of your experiences. And if it looks too good to be true, remember, all that glitters is not gold. But the justice, you're standing up to past situation. Because these people are unenlightened, they're still what? In reverse root chakra. They're living with a 3D mind, darling dears. Yeah, and you know it. The cups is also your emotions, your relationships, darling dears. You're going to be poured into by others. Remember I told you that? Yeah. Because you're thinking clearly. You're not allowing ruminating thoughts to what? Kill your joy. Good golly and gosh. But these people are focused on you, Jezebel spirits, darling dears. Page of Cups. They want to come through with distractions. This is not truth, darling dears. It's not a truth. And you're not passionate about them. And it's, for some, this family, you was in a sexual relationship. I'm talking about by marriage, a partnership, someone you saw as family. These cards are made out of plastic. Plastic. And today they're behaving. Usually they're very hard to pick up. I'm going to get another deck. I'm tired of this deck. I'm going to use the Badass Tarot. 8 of Wands, and messages coming towards you quickly. And it could also represent Cupid's arrows. But it could also be what? Spiritual inspiration and inspirement, darling dears. So they're monitoring you. Queen of Cups, you know this, darling dears. They're monitoring, they're trying to discern what your your financial status is, what is your physical status, darling, just what you've got going on, because you've created some kind of security for yourself. Queen of Cups, you know this. They're remembering the loyalty you brought to the situation. Loyalty, hey, it's right up there with unicorn, darling dears. Once you see it and you get it, right? Yeah, but you was removed from this situation, darling dears. You have to create your own way. Two of Wands. What did I say? Turned your back on a situation. The Emperor energy. Yeah. This card says egotism. They're all in their ego, darling dears. I told you, reverse root chakra. Three of Swords. If you allow these past energies back into your situation, betrayal will definitely be. You'll see betrayal. What fell on the Queen of Cups? We've got the Ten of Wands and the Moon, darling dears, to lie and betray, darling dears. Lie and betray, but there's also the element of jealousy of what you've created for yourself. The Ten of Pentacles. What's this? Somebody's about to receive some kind of contract, some kind of business deal, something to do with their spiritual journey, darling dears. It could be a benefactor. It could be you going into what? The leadership role. Yeah, Seven of Wands. Because you've blocked out energy in your life that no longer serves you, right? It serves your mental health. Yeah, these cards have got some awful pictures. I had to walk through them with the Tipex, darling dears. Good gosh, it was shocking. But you are stable, darling dears. Hangman, no longer sacrificing yourself for a situation. You're putting it on pause. Yeah. We've got the Knight of Pentacles on the Hierophant. It was a long time coming, but as I said, things for you is God's time. You've got the Ace of Swords. Everything is the truth. You are more clear, and it also again speaks into the boundaries that you've created. You've ended the situation, but they haven't forgotten you. I told you, you are being monitored by so-called family and fake friends, darling dears. Yeah, Four of Wands, the Tower, and the Seven of Pentacles. They're not ready for what's going to happen to you next, darling dears. Four of Wands is an 11-11 fade. Yeah, being gifted to you. You're about to boss up in a major way. Ten of Wands. Yep. Because of the burdens that you released. They didn't think you drop them from the situation or circumstance. This is why they're focused, darling dears. And if it's family and fake friends from the past, right, you're going to meet someone. If it's from the past, a fake family and friend who's betrayed you from the past, darling dears, why would you want to have any conversations with them? You owe them nothing. Your time is precious, darling dears. You don't waste it with simpletons. Oh no. You let them know that they need to beat the traffic. That's a lot of cards. You've got the Knight of Swords and the Chariot, darling dears. There's a lot of gossip being directed at you at this moment in time. And again, we've got the Three of Pentacles. It's people that would love to work with you. On this particular deck, you can see all eyes on the throne, but your back is turned, darling dears. There's disgruntled people at your back. Good golly and gosh, they want to work with you again, but they're in their ego. They're in their ego. They was all maybe you had them in high regard, Emperor energy. You did. You did. But that was naivety, darling dears. This is a lot of confusing cards coming out of the back. We'll take the top one where I stopped. World card. Ending. Somebody's definitely traveling. Knight of Wands. This is also a traveling card. Traveling plans are going to shape up for you. Unexpected traveling plans, which is going to further transform your life, darling dears. Could be the meeting of this person that comes to give you a significant message. Yeah, you've got the King of Pentacles. They took a risk with you, darling dears. Knight of Cups. Yeah, but all they ever came with what? Distractions. Look at this card. Look what it says. Yeah, Hangman. Put them on pause. This fight, this situation is not for you, darling dears. They have a court date, and remember, the courts on Malkuth are not the only ones. We also have the highest court on Keitha. So I need to go for another deck again. Gosh, a whole thrapple. This rarely happens as I sip my mocha because I ain't getting smoked. Right. Okay. Base of the deck. The watching watchers. They're watching you be curious and create a new beginning for yourself, darling dears. Page of Swords. in the upright, I might add. Really cruel, darling dears, violent in nature. Someone that's going through issues with a legal issue. We already saw it with the court date, darling dears. They've got legal issues, court issues, darling dears. They see you as some stable and secure. They would like some kind of financial help or advice, darling dears. Major tower moments. They're looking for you to be their savior. Are you Captain Saver Harlot at this stage of the game, bestie? Oi! Looking for you to be their savior. Your back is turned, hermit energy. Yeah, tired of the betrayal, tired of it. What did I say? People from the past, ex-family and friends, would like to return to your situation, but you're looking towards your opportunities, new beginning, and it's the right idea for you, darling dears. You're going to have a reason to celebrate, possibly with feminine energy. Yeah, vibration raised, and again, this speaks about a vacation, travel, or it could also be the celebration of some kind of engagement, celebrating someone else's engagement. The one's energy could be engagement in a new job and a new position, but there's a celebration coming towards you, darling dears. Moon energy, you have to leave them behind. Shady bogady, darling dears, betraying betrayers. Back, front, neck tabbers, darling dears, that go for the white meat. You're remembering the full extent of Proverbs 26:11. As a fool returns to folly, only a dog returns to vomit. Big cat don't eat vomit, darling dears. Two of Wands. This is about you having the idea. The ace of Wands is like the notion, having the gumption, feeling the passion towards a new direction. The Two of Wands is fine-tuning the direction that you're actually going. Some of you are about to go global. You have something online, darling dears, which brings people into emotional alignment. Love it. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, they want to come back, right? But if you allow them back in, you're going to interrupt your destined path. You've already healed yourself. Some of you are about to get a benefactor, some kind of support in a business, darling dears. Yeah. You bring the light out of the balance. It's been a long journey, Page of Wands. Maybe you was in this situation around these people since you was young. There could be definitely an age difference, but this was a long time coming. Knight of Pentacles. You had to change. Yeah, they're talking about you, darling dears. They don't like the way you've managed to heal yourself and continue to make right choices, Gemini energy. This is also represented by siblings, darling dears. Somebody wants to journey towards you, but you are like the Rock of Ages. You want to be drama-free. And if they try to get up in your face, it's a tower moment for them. 3 times we've seen the tower moment. Good golly and gosh. The number 3 speaks about if they dare approach you, you will express yourself authentically. Yes, Swords energy, because you remember the facts, right? The eyes are covered, darling dears. Things that they did in the past. Some of them laughed at when you was going through your hardest times. Yeah, they found satisfaction in that. They always wanted you to be hurt, darling dears, and you know this, High Priestess, right? But we've got the Emperor energy as you claim dominion over yourself, splitting that deck. This is why they're worried. This is why they want to come and stir the pot, darling dears. Worried about the progress that you continue to make in your life. Queen of Wands. Yeah, Jezebel's spirit be gone, darling dears. Yeah, cutting that shiznai out. You're going to meet new people to work with. It's been a long time coming, and it will be people of different ages, darling dears, but it's going to create new beginnings in your finance and your stability. Yeah, mental health, people on the same level as you. I just heard a banging, but I'm the only one here. Just me and my son's cat. Got to check it out. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get back into it. So why is your escape creating so many tower moments? We know they've got legal issues, darling dears. Because of the foundation that you're going to create for yourself, darling dears. The fact that you didn't go, stark staring mad, darling dears. The fact that you created opportunities out of thin air. Yeah, and you stay winning. And it doesn't matter what they've said or done behind your back, darling dears, or in the past. It's behind you like a ponytail. Because you keep winning, darling dears. Yeah, Ace of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment, and your cup is run off over. Maybe you've got a finger in as many as 5 pies, darling dears. This speaks about you having an entrepreneurial air or an air around you for winning, darling dears. They see that you've managed your emotions. The cups is about the relationship, darling dears. They want the relationship back with you. But to what purpose? Have they been so mean? To stop whatever you've got going on, darling dears. To cause confusion, arguments, lies. Yeah, of course they want to work with you. They're going to appear happy in the beginning. They'll be happy in the beginning. They want to work with you. But what's going to happen? What's going to happen? It's not going to bloody work. It's not going to work. Yeah, because they got the karma on them, darling dears. They want the opportunity for a second chance. But this is your fresh start, bestie. This is all part of your evolution, bestie. You've already completed your final examination, and they are watching you, right? And they will never, ever graduate from whatever their watchation is giving them, because they're not getting what they want, darling dears. Because of your boundaries. And these boundaries weren't for them. It was to protect you from what? The cycles, darling dears, the karma of it all. You had to end that cycle. You simply had to. Yeah, Page of Wands. And as I looked up, I saw the birth natal chart. Maybe it was in the birth natal chart, darling dears. You looked at your South Node and realized it wasn't for you. That it was on the rinse and repeat. 2 of Wands, darling dears, turning your back on a situation. You don't look like what you've been through, darling dears, but it also speaks about you being highly intuitive. This is why you're strong. You recognize where the drama came from, darling dears. And peace is your middle name. They took you on a hard journey, darling dears, but you had to find balance in your finances, your emotions. 2 of Wands again, back turned against the shade. Let them talk. Let them do all their spellcastations. It's not working because whatever they do, darling dears, they can't bring you back. And they're having tower every time they put their name and their words on you, darling dears. It don't look good. Some of them are feeling ashamed for how they treated you. They didn't expect you to get back up, or guess what? Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Cat. How about that? Yeah. Spiritual awakening and transformation, darling dears. And some of you had to what? Release yourself from joint finances. It could have been a relationship, this family member. Intimacy, this transformation is Scorpio, the 8th house of intimacy, darling dears. But it's also the house of letting go. Letting go of that karmic debt. Yeah. They feel left out of the situation. It speaks about mental issues. Could be borderline personalities, darling dears. Yeah. Stuck in their no vision, darling dears. This is people that are focused on your goals, your dreams and your ambitions, what you are putting out there for them to see. They're so focused. Well, guess what? They're going to watch you go into a happy union if that's what you want. Or it could be what? A true soul tribe friendship, darling dears. But others, they're going to watch you boss up in a business that you've created, something that you was intuitively guided to create, darling dears. Happy days, because you're going to help people put the past behind them. You have purpose. The past is just for intel, not a place where you must live. And all of this energy must stay in the past for your mental health and your wealth, for you not to get confused in your decision making, darling dears, and your creativities. You made the right choice. Celebrate yourself, darling dears. It's not easy to get up from under. It's not easy not to live and settle in for situations and circumstances that you are meant to overcome as part of your soul journey on this Malkuth. You're doing well. Doing well. Sowing the right seeds, darling dears. Isolating yourself from situations that are not on your spiritual pay grade. Emotional maturity. You had to. People that had no true emotion for you, darling dears. They were all Trojan horses in your life. And now they're tongue wrestling with your name on the tip of their tongue. Weren't they the ones that said you was no good? Weren't they the ones that said you was a thief, a liar, a harlot? But yet those same ones would love to be in your hemisphere because they're going for it and they don't know how you overcame, and they want your tools. Your tools of what? Overcomation, darling dears. Your tool of get back, 555 on the counter. You made a quantum change, and it was constructive freedom because there was too much conflict and confusion and no one was on your side. I can't make it up, moon energy. Your enemies had enemies and none of them liked you. And these were blood relatives or family by marriage, partnerships, darling dears, friendships, fake friends. But now you're enlightened to everything, understanding that you don't have to live in a situation that is what tolerating you and not celebrating you. Even if it means leaving the situation, and what happens? What happens? You celebrate alone. It's a long time coming. You had to what? Realize that you deserve success, 8 of Pentacles. And you was not going to be successful in that situation that was blocking your blessings. Deception indicated, darling. Yes, I told you they're talking. But they want to know how you managed to get back and create opportunities for yourself. Why are they so focused? Because they want to come back. They want to share in your opportunities, what you've created for yourself. They want to know how you do what you do when what you do comes from within. They sowed injustice and now they're reaping calamity. Proverbs 22:8, darling dears. For their what? Luke 22:48, backstabbing ways, darling dears. They get no S. Okay, so how to handle it when these past people jettison into your life like Beetlejuice or Candyman? Base of the deck, you better turn your shapely back, blood, brah, or see stream. Remember what you had to overcome. Remember, you had no friend. Even if it was a marriage, darling, that wasn't your friend. You was their biggest opportunity, darling, just because you didn't know the energy you carry. And didn't is the operative word. Didn't. So how to deal with the energy if you should have the unfortunate set of circumstances where they cross your path and you don't have on your darkest glass, you don't have your nay, your bat. I left the bat downstairs because I went downstairs to see what that noise. Listen, I walk with the bat, darling dears. I'm by myself. And if somebody's broken in, they've come to kick my ass. All right? So that I've got to kick their ass before they kick mine. And I don't ask questions. But that's how I do it here at my Don't Get Smoked Central. I'm not going to look by myself. Now I'm sucking my 31 teeth. How best might the big cat handle any kind of chance meeting with these what skullduggerous bottom feeders that come with confusion and fighting and are in secret competition with the big cat? Listen, again, 2 of Wands. Turn your back, keep it popping, keep it fresh, keep it moving. You don't have to speak, darling dears. But they definitely want to see you. Good golly and gosh, this is 2 twos, darling dears. You've already, 2 twos mean you've already parted ways with them. You've moved with determination, being spiritually guided. You may have a new car, darling dears, or have some kind of business that's on wheels. You was guided to leave that situation. You had to realize this is not normal. Living amongst people that are always fighting, arguing, gossiping, scandalous company, darling dears. People that are not holding themselves accountable for what they done did. They're too busy what? Putting it on someone else, bringing up a bigger issue, what they feel is a bigger issue to hide their own skullduggerous ways. Avoid them, darling dears. Pay them dust. Focus on you, your mental health, your financial health, your physical health. Avoid them. The King of Swords is slow to speak. Why? Because you've got all of the facts. You've got their file, darling dears. You may be in the civil service or legal field, maybe in the technological field as well, darling dears. Yeah. This goes to what? 9 of Swords. Is it 9? Excusez-moi. This goes, because he's got 4 swords here. 10 of Swords. They only come to bring what? More grievances, more harm, more betrayal. But they want to get ingratiated into what you've got going on now. What about then when you needed someone? Huh? These people are corrupt, darling. There's a con person, a hoodwinker. Don't be hoodwinked. Refuse to drink that cup of opium and cognitive dissonance. And just because they're family and they're relying on history, right? History means nothing. If you always turn out to be on the bottom, darling dears, getting it without the Vaseline. There was no mercy shown towards you, darling dears. They didn't care about your feelings. And now they only care about what you can give them, how you can bring them up out of these issues, major towerments and court issues. Protect your energies, darling dears. You don't have to what? Have any form of involvement on any level. You've got opportunities, darling. This is what they want. Palace of Wands is arguing. Oh, look at these 2 knights facing inwards. You've been on a hard journey. Why would you want to make it even harder again? 12-12 on the counter, darling dears. 12-12 is about a new beginning. No longer being on pause, darling dears. Moving forward quickly. Releasing yourself. It's the double energy of the hangman. This perspective is for you to understand you're an earth angel, and it also speaks about ancestral protection and guidance. And again, we've got the 10 of Swords. We just made the 10 of Swords, and here it is again. Leave the manipulated manipulators where they are. 10 of Swords is Pisces energy. That's the 12th house. So the law that goes with that is law 33, identify the weaknesses, right? Law number 35, master timing, darling dears. And law number 48, adapt where need. You had to adapt. And your path is not their path, and what works for you is not going to work for them. Why? You can't come into a situation wanting to rob, steal, and kill, right? And expect a good outcome. Karma doesn't forget an address. And it's not for you to undo whatever wickedness they got into, darling dears. Remember, they were the ones that said you were worthless. They were the ones that wanted you to go through all of this wickedness while they had something to eat their snacks over, while they discussed it, darling dears. They were the ones that put you in that situation. If it was family members, your siblings never protected you. If it was a partnership and marriage, that person was there for opportunities. You saw yourself holding the biggest pentacle of them all, but you didn't realize. But when that realization hit home, it hit different, right? Ha ha! Yeah. Solo dolo, like the boys or girls on the pole, darling dears. 2 of Pentacles in the upright. It speaks about you having options. Weighing up the options. Could be business options, darling dears. And for some, it's options with your health. You're looking at your health. Obviously, you are have only just got to the point where you're able to balance your responsibilities, right? But this new stability is coming towards you. And with the weighing of the Pentacles, darling dears, the 2 Pentacles, you have a full understanding of what sort of relationship they will bring to you. Isolation is key, darling dears. Let's finish up with Kip and then we're out of here. So get great. And ask Father God to please make our paths not pass the wicked. Hey, hey. Yeah, falsehood, the lies they tell, darling dears. They come to lie to you again. Yeah, they want a new beginning, these number 2 people, because they're concerned of how great and how big you've become. The window of opportunity was yours to take, darling dears. This new path. Transformation season has arrived, darling dears. You've got a 6 and an 8, darling dears. Didn't I tell you the luckiest numbers for you of the next few days will be what? 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Moon energy. Use your intuition and your discernment, darling dears. Some of them you may even be experiencing, because the moon also speaks about astral travel. You may even be experiencing more dreams of them. Why? They're focused, darling dears. They want this new cycle to what? Bring you down, Bobby Brown. And maybe this time you won't be able to recover. Never you ever pour into someone who poured out of you and never gave anything back. They're a liar. And where they are is where they deserve to be, darling dears. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. If you'd like a personal read, please hit me up in the Gmail. All of my intel is in the description box below. Thank you very much, Big Cat, for your continued support of me in this channel as I try to get you to the truth roof. Pinkies up, remember. I'm your bestie, and I'm a pointer, not a picker. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big Cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.
Extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.